something different about her, like she's got this special aura. She's so cute when she laughs.
So, Digital Circus is the new existential horror with an innocent kid show theme on the block. And just like these other indie projects with this sort of approach, everyone is pretty much obsessed. It took me a while to get around to watching it, and when I did, I didn't really get it. I was having fun, but I didn't fully understand what was going on until I watched a second time. Caught what I missed, and my takeaway now is I like it.
We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay!
I'm not gaga for it like a lot of the internet, and there are certainly other shows and projects that I'm more interested in, but overall, it's good. Each character's design and personality are very distinct. I like how our main character is not only thrown into this, but she's also thrown into the middle of the theme song. Like, she is seriously just like us and brand new to this world with no idea what's going on. The animation is really good. I love the music. The voice cast is amazing. Altogether, Digital Circus makes a pretty strong step in blending children's show energy with psychological horror. Yet it still stands out from others in the genre. Really, we're seeing a lot of this kind of horror, and unlike the recycled personality of Disney princesses, I'm not tired of it yet. I seriously hope we continue to see more of this style in horror. Anyway, the challenge of today's video is not trying to design Digital Circus characters as they are in human forms, although that would definitely be more fun. But instead the goal is to speculate and design how they look in the real world. The challenge is that we only really have 4 factors to use for design: age, personality, voice, and a little bit of how they appear in the Digital Circus realm. Even then, some designs are easier to interpret than others, so it's not a lot to go off of, but that is part of the fun. And I just kind of want to have this video and these designs to look back on to see how wrong or off I am when we learn more about these characters and possibly see how they really look outside of the Digital Circus. Honestly, Pomy is probably my favorite character. I think she has the best facial expressions, and she reminds me a lot of myself, or at least how I feel on the inside sometimes. Considering her age in the headset comment, I'm thinking maybe Pomy is a gamer. It's considered a more solitary homebody sort of hobby to have, and Pomy definitely seems like someone who prefers to be at home and by herself. Her anxiety kind of ties into the gamer theory. Like, a lack of sleep can make your anxiety worse, which makes sense if she stays up all night playing video games. So I gave her dark circles under her eyes, and this is also a reference to her black eyelids and the black lines circling her eyes in the show. I feel like Pomy has a really boring job, like something in retail, going off the way she initially chooses to ignore her circumstances and go along with a happier explanation, like it being a dream. It reminds me of crying for 2 minutes in a break room or a bathroom before you go back on the floor to deal with customers with a happy and peppy attitude slapped on. And I feel like this is definitely something she would do. I'm thinking maybe this computer setup is in an attic of a relative, like a Manor the Adventurer, except it's a cursed old computer instead of cursed tapes. This is a pretty old computer, and Pomy is in her 20s, so unless this series is set in the 2000s, it makes sense that this computer belongs to an older person in her family. I could be off with the gamer idea. I'm just trying to think what exactly compelled her to put on the headset that got her into the Digital Circus. I thought maybe she has like a Russian background because her name means remember in Russian, but if she was, they probably would have given her an accent so she stand out even more, and I don't think the clue is meant to be taken this literally. But I've decided that she's Chinese American. I don't really have much to support this take. I just like to put diversity where I can in my art, and I can see it for human Pomy, so I just did it. For her outfit, I was originally going to give her a matching hoodie and shorts, but it started to look like a Sailor Boy costume, so I just put her in jean shorts and kept the hoodie. She has her yellow socks from the game, and instead of mismatched shoes, she has mismatched laces. If I had to guess what her name really is, she kind of looks like an Emily to me, and if I'm wrong on any of this, I'm thinking she could be wealthier than I imagine. Jesters did have a place in the royal court, and I guess I could see it with her voice, but I don't really know. That's the point. This is my bid on who Pomy really is outside of the Digital Circus realm for now. I think Jax is like my second favorite character, but again, it's a really close tie between him and Pomy. He's a jerk, but a really charming one, and his approach to this whole situation is super interesting because how much it stands out from everyone else's. The other characters seem some form of going crazy or just hopeless, but Jax really seems like he's having fun. It's probably just like a coping mechanism that's gonna be broken down at some point, but for now it makes him pretty unique. My theory for why Jax is the way he is maybe he was a celebrity or an important person outside of the digital circus, and treating everyone like he's better than them is a way to enforce the treatment or the status that he's used to, or he's a nobody in the real world and is using the digital circus as a way to finally just say and do whatever he wants. Even though the celebrity theory is more exciting, I'm leaning more towards the latter. Jax seems like he was a selfish screw-up in the real world, maybe the black sheep of his family, or someone with the habit of making a lot of friends but only going back into their life when he needs something. I get the sense that he's running from something in his past. He is a rabbit, which are like pretty fast animals, and he kept running from the threat in the episode, and he completely left 2 other people behind in the process. Altogether, Jax seems like he was a very selfish person in real life, maybe a swindler, or just someone used to taking advantage of the people around him. I'm not really sure on my Pomy theory, but I feel like I'm really not wrong on this one. His appearance is something that I'm less sure on. We can get a good guess of what Pomy looks like. We at least see that she has black, brownish hair. But with Jax, we don't get much at all on how he might look in real life. So we can pretty much do whatever we want with his appearance, as long as we keep his main characteristics, his wide smile and his mischievous eyes. And he has to stay hot. I mean, I don't make the rules, guys. That's just how it has to be. I did take some time off camera to figure out his features. I do that sometimes when I'm just not sure if I'll be happy with it, and I just need some time to figure it out. Especially when there's a lot of pressure to make the character attractive. Obviously, the characters do not appear exactly how they do in the digital circus in real life, but I still wanted to keep his figure very slim. It's a pretty defining trait of his. At this point, I can't tell if they're all getting trapped in the same computer or if they're individual cursed computers and headsets around in the world. I'm leaning towards individual headsets and computers, and I'm thinking maybe Jax stole them from a friend or a relative and put it on to make sure it worked before he tried selling it. I'm not sure the outfit I gave him fits the couch hopping, living scam to scam life I imagine for him, but it's fine. He's a pretty boy. He gets pretty clothes. I can believe that he at least has one nice outfit. Maybe he thrifts. For his name in real life, I don't really have a lot to go off of. I'm thinking just to go with the obvious, maybe his real name is Jackson. Ragatha is another favorite of mine. I just love how empathetic and comforting she is, and people who go out of their way to help you when you're new to something and they do it in a way that is not condescending are perfect and wonderful. Cherish those moments because literally nobody has to, or no one is obligated to help you with anything. The way Ragatha stepped in to help Pomy and how well she handles stress makes me think maybe she was a mother or a mother figure in the real world. But to me, she gives more like sister or big sister vibes than mom vibes. And I don't think she'd be this okay with being separated from her children for maybe indefinitely. She's only 30, so they wouldn't be old enough to take care of themselves, unless maybe she has a partner to look after them. Ragdolls are kind of like the original Barbies. Like, they've been around for a long time and are specifically targeted towards little girls. So maybe Ragatha has a younger sister or a daughter. In any case, there's no way Ragatha doesn't have someone out there in the real world that she's used to taking care of. I think she's either a teacher or a very successful businesswoman. It seems like she likes following the rules, so I think she'd gravitate toward a profession that has something to do with discipline. But because of that caregiver nature she has and the fact that she is a ragdoll, I'm gonna go with preschool teacher. I'm not really sure how Ragatha got pulled into the digital circus. Maybe she had no choice but to use the cursed computer to get some work done, or was clearing out old, unused classes at her school. If I had to guess her real name, I'd say Anne. She does kind of remind me of Anne from Parks and Rec.
I have to move, right? Yeah, I'm gonna leave the country. Bye, everybody. Bye.
And, Raggedy Ann. It could be Agatha, but the name doesn't really suit her in my opinion, and I don't think her real name would be that obvious. Okay, so those are my human designs and my human theories for the characters trapped in the digital circus. I'm probably overthinking the professions or the jobs they have, or like how they got connected in the digital circus. They probably all work at the same corrupt evil company that put them in the computer for the sake of an experiment or something. but I think imagining their own individual lives is still fun. Also, the idea of there being like multiple cursed computers just out floating in the real world and trapping individual people just gives me Goosebumps vibes, and I like that more than it being like some kind of experiment or, you know, just like a mass corporation sort of thing. Obviously, Kinger, Zubul, and Gangle would be next, but I don't know if I'll draw them. They're cool, but you know, I don't like them as much as I like these three. And if you haven't noticed already, pretty much all my videos are hyperfixations, and continuation is extremely hard for me. I just like to make it and leave it. Anyway, my birthday is on the 13th. By the time you're seeing this video, it's gonna be long and over, but you know, still wish me a late birthday in the comments if you made it to the end. That way I can know who was watching these videos to the end and who was leaving before I finish making my point. No, I'm just kidding, I don't care about that. But yeah, if you made it, wish me a happy birthday. I'm turning 20. But other than that, that's it. I'm done talking. I will see you in the next video. Bye.